Fight fans, I want to ask you guys something. What is going on with Jake Paul? He had this very, very much anticipated fight. First, it was going to be with Tommy Fury. Then it was going to be with Hasim Rahman Jr. And then it all fell out in the very last minute, and everything just got pulled. And we really haven't heard much. We've been hearing little things here and there, but nothing like we're used to. We remember when Jake Paul was, before this whole fight cancellation took place, he was in the news a lot. He was promoting his fighters, and then he was trying to get himself a fight, very much anticipated with Tommy Fury, and then this whole build and this whole drama with Hasim Rahman. Yeah, it's just like it just really felt like everything just went completely standstill. And my personal feeling, what I personally think is the reason why it completely just went quiet is because he is really, really, truly waiting for this Nate Diaz business to conclude. I know that he and Nate have both challenged each other and want to fight each other. Nate has been very vocal about that, and Jake has been very vocal about that. But they cannot necessarily tell each other anything yet, because I do think that's a possible breach of contract with the UFC or some kind of tampering. There's a certain law to that whole. It's like a real technicality that you cannot discuss a contract with another organization or fighting another opponent while you're under contract with this other organization for the time being. To my knowledge, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe that's what the word is. That's why we don't hear a lot from Jake and Nate regarding each other. So that's just my personal opinion. But as overall, I'm thinking like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you promoting yourself anymore? Why aren't you saying anything aside from this whole KSI business or this Andrew Tate business that excuse me, that's not even worth mentioning, honestly. You're trying to be a boxer. You're trying to be a fighter from what I'm understanding. There was this whole YouTube thing, and then you decided to take on MMA fighters, and now you were talking this Eddie Hearn business about how one day you're going to be champ and how one day you're going to change the business. Well, what are you doing? You okay, you had this falling out with this possible fighter with Hasim Rahman, this possible fight with Hasim Rahman, but then all of a sudden you go silent in the fight world, in the boxing world, and in MMA world. I hear that he's been talking about little challenges here and there, again, like we talked about with Andrew Tate, and then with this KSI and all these other things. Like, Jake, if you're trying to be a fighter, you need to avoid these guys. These guys shouldn't even be in your level. These guys shouldn't even be in your mind or in your conversation, regardless of their name, regardless of their star status on YouTube or their business elsewhere. If you are trying to be a fighter, you need to be focusing on fighting. That's what you need to do. You need to build yourself up as a fighter. You need to attend some of these events that we've seen you at. We need to hear you from different interviews and talking about everything that's going on and what you're trying to do next. So you need to keep yourself very active and very within the boxing or the MMA community, depending on what it is that you really want to do. Because I promise you, if you're going down this route due to just one cancellation fight, I know it's under your promotion, your own promotion, I should say. And yeah, it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, but you just got to pick up the pieces and move on. And that's another thing, Jake. Don't try to start to the top right away. Be that fighter. Be that. You don't have to be a promoter and try to be everything in house with just you. You can have a different promotion or still be able to call your own shots, but have that help, like with the Eddie Hearn or with the Al Heyman or even a Bob Arum or something like that, where you possibly can run your own show, but still have that help, because you don't come from that boxing world. You do need that help to build your star status little by little. And not just that, but then you can also be under undercards in the pay-per-view. You don't need to be your own pay-per-view star. Sure, maybe once in a while you can do your own fights, but perhaps you could be on the undercard like a Canelo fight or the undercard with the Anthony Joshua fight, just so your name is still continuing to be out there and you're not trying to put all the pressure and build your own show. because that's what it is. Also, it's very pressured. You know, it's a lot of pressure to do that, to train as a fighter, to be your businessman at the same time, to make sure this and this and that is taken care of, forgetting about yourself, and almost not even doing the training. Your mind is going in a different places. You gotta literally do one thing at a time. Be a fighter first. Don't be a promoter and a fighter when you're barely learning how to be a fighter, because I promise you, things like this with this whole Hasim Rahman is gonna happen. And then of course what's going to end up happening is you're going to go into there with someone who possibly is not even on your level or more than your level, and you're going to get knocked out or you're going to get hurt really bad, because you're just so focused not just on your fight, but you're focused on your fight and the business as well as a promoter. And then you're trying to put some of the people that you're promoting on your undercard, so you got to focus on them too and negotiate for them too. So there's just so much you're trying to do at once that, yeah, you need to take a step back. That's just my advice. Like, as far as everything else goes, I have no idea what's going on. Hopefully we hear something soon. I am not the biggest super fan of Jake. I am interested in what he's doing, but as far as him as a fighter, yeah, I'm very interested in seeing him grow, because he does bring some kind of entertainment to the business, and with this whole Dana White back and forth beef thing, it's entertaining and interesting. You have to be honest about that. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. Am I right? Is he just waiting for Nate and that's why he's just like trying to stay out of it? Or maybe did he lose interest altogether? Or maybe the fact that the community, the MMA and boxing community, really no longer cares anymore. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.